So, Miami was interesting. What the f?
He knows too much and now they want him dead. Keep watching to hear what he has to say. G'day guys, this is Holy Critics signing in, and I hope you're buckled up because 2024 is going to be a wild ride. I mean, just think about it for a second. We're still in January, going into February. We had the Miami Mall alien incident. We had the jellyfish UAP footage that conveniently leaked to the public. And then we had the House Oversight Committee getting briefed on the existence of extraterrestrial life. And now the cherry on top. Internal Pentagon report warns America is unequipped to defend itself from an alien invasion. Wow, they finally are admitting it. They've implied there's aliens out there, and not only that, they're about to invade us. And I'm not talking about ones of the illegal kind here. US officials do not have the capabilities to defend America against a hypothetical alien invasion. Why would they be saying that if there weren't aliens? Wouldn't that be a preposterous concept? Or maybe they're running a scam here. Maybe it's to increase their defense budget. What do you reckon, guys? And all of this just so happens to coincide with what David Grush has been saying for the past couple of years. You know, the US Air Force whistleblower. Have a little listen to what he has to say here.
And I think that is the logical fallacy there is because they're advanced, they're kind. We'll never really understand full intent in that because we're not them, whatever them is or are. But I think what appears to be malevolent activity has happened based on not only nuclear site probing activities, witness testimony. I think at least if we look at it through a humanistic lens, it does appear negative, at least to us.
I've been told that there have been attempts to bring down craft, that we've acted offensively against non-human craft.
There have been instances, and there are certain techniques.
Have human beings been hurt or killed by a non-human intelligence?
While I can't get into the specifics because that would reveal certain U.S. classified operations, I was briefed by a few individuals on the program that there were malevolent events like that.
So what he's describing here is War of the Worlds level stuff. You know, Independence Day. These things are not here to cohabitate with us, to learn from us. They are here to simply annihilate, subjugate us at best. So the question then becomes, is this just another elaborate hoax designed to distract us from an even bigger crisis that is waiting in the wings? A biological threat similar to the COVID pandemic? Disease X maybe? Or is this just another example of Project Bluebeam, perhaps to destroy organized religion? I mean, you had Obama 2 years ago, 3 years ago, coming out and saying new religions could arise if proof of aliens is discovered. Now, he got the briefing. He was president for 8 years. Are you telling me he doesn't think there's aliens? He calls himself a Christian. So you think there'd be a flat refusal to believe in extraterrestrial life. But no, he says it could actually shake the foundations of religion, may even cause a crisis of faith. That's the literal blueprint for Project Bluebeam. And I really am torn on this issue, guys. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I think there's a solid argument either side of the aisle. You're going to now hear from another witness who kind of went under the radar for me, who was there on New Year's Day at the Miami Bayside Marketplace. I have a strong suspicion that this guy is the genuine article. He has some very interesting insights and video evidence to prove that there were in fact 8 to 10 foot tall aliens that appeared that night. Have a listen to his account.
So basically what happened was I was there with my brother Brian, my sister and my nephew. We were looking for shoes for my nephew. And then we see a whole crowd of people outside the store, just running out in a direction. So, you know, as soon as we saw it, we were like, oh shit, you know, what's going on? So we immediately ran out with our nephew, and you know, we picked him up and we ran out and we followed the crowd. And then about like a few seconds later, as soon as we started running, my nephew, he's autistic, so he was pointing behind us and he was saying blanky, which he'll usually say whenever he feels unsafe or scared. And he was pointing behind us. So me and my brother, we look behind us, and then we see these 3 9-10 foot tall creatures. I'm not gonna say aliens. Everyone keeps saying it's aliens. I'm not saying aliens because I don't know what it was.
Well, I stand corrected then.
As soon as it made itself more apparent, it looked like it was glitching. Not like a computer pixelation, but like a wavy glitch. And whatever maybe was covering them had, you know, unveiled or whatever. Yeah, it looked like a glitch, man. It like a weird glitch in the Matrix or whatever.
That's interesting because another witness described the interdimensional creatures coming from within a portal, and they seem to be contorted in their shape, like he said, glitching out.
And then you could see it in its full form, all 3 of them. And then you know, they were all black. You saw eyes, and you could faintly see like lips. But yeah, I was about like 20 feet away, because obviously everybody gave it distance, right? And you know, they're tall, so we all just like looked at them. They were just standing there, and the thing that was a little bit weird, but it was clearly like observing us. It was sentient, right? Like, or whatever. I mean, I don't know. So anyways, as soon as the creature started moving, we all just jetted out there. We ran out the front doors, and you know, obviously, like, we see a whole sea of cop cars, mad cop cars. Other ones were coming in, and we ran with our nephew. And then, you know, a cop stopped us. You know, they took us to a bit of a safer area behind the cars, and then and they asked us what we saw, and we told them what we saw. You know, they wrote it down. And they asked everybody to check their phones. Not everybody, because there was mad people like running away too, right? They couldn't get everyone.
Here we've got another witness confirming evidence tampering from the cops. They asked people that were fleeing the mall to present their smartphones, presumably to delete the footage they had potentially taken. So the cops are obviously not telling the full truth of what happened that night.
And it almost seemed like the cops had like a already made strategy for it, because they surrounded one of the beings with like all their police cars. They blared it up even louder because you could hear that it was louder. Maybe as an attempt to like distract it or let it know like, hey, you don't belong here, right?
And yet not a single cop who served on duty that night has come forward and confirmed any of the witness accounts. You've got him here saying that they confronted this interdimensional entity, and yet they're all saying it's total bogus. So he posted that video to his TikTok account on, I think, the 7th of January, and it largely remained unseen and buried in the search results, which is probably why I missed it. But some of the commenters asked him if he could sketch or draw down a depiction of the shadow creatures that were walking around the mall that night. And because this guy is a graphical designer, I think, he posted a couple more videos, and I'll just show you them. Now, he doesn't claim this to be actual footage captured in the mall, but just have a look to see what he is describing in a visual representation of it anyway. So very tall, dark, glitchy, like he said. Here's another one that's a bit clearer. Staring blankly at you. sentient. I think he used that word to describe them. He didn't post any more videos after that. But then about 2 weeks ago, he was walking back to his apartment. Now, he doesn't live in Miami, so don't mistake what you're about to see for being in Miami, because clearly it's a East Coast city that he's in. Perhaps Washington, New York, somewhere like that. And his apartment gets blown up. Now, he doesn't describe why it was blown up. Was it a bomb? Was it a gas main? Sometimes that can happen. Just have a look at what he captured outside his apartment block and what happened in the aftermath of the incident.
So after the explosion, they detained you and took you to the hospital where you would wait for government officials to come by and pick you up. But you managed to somehow escape custody, get your belongings, until suddenly the alarms go off and you knew it was for you. And you managed to escape safely.
After Miami, like, it was just the start of a chain of events that people don't know about. And it was a cat and mouse game, basically. And I documented the whole thing. So along with the footage, we're also going to be telling that story as well. Like, you guys won't believe what happened.
So as you can see there, he's clearly in an emergency department. As a result of what? I'm unsure. Did he suffer shrapnel wounds from the explosion? Maybe a concussion? I don't know. But I decided to do a little bit more investigation into any explosions that may have happened in the last couple of weeks. And I did come across this. This incident happened in Washington, D.C. And from the looks of it, it roughly lines up with the street scene from that footage that he took. Was that his apartment building? It's the only incident I can find that roughly lines up with the date and time of him posting his video. And then he started posting a series of interviews describing his harrowing experiences in the aftermath of the Miami incident.
This obviously makes you emotional. Am I right? When should the world expect to see this footage?
So I don't really have a time frame of when, because we're still waiting to see how everything plays out. It's still an ongoing situation at this moment. We're hoping, I would love for it to be released as soon as possible. But these things have to be handled gently. Just due to the sensitive nature. But what I can say is that the footage is unsettling. I've just been sharing a lot of like reenactments and stuff that's close to our experience so that people can get an idea. When you see footage like this, it's, everyone thinks that, yeah, it's been normalized in our media, but when you actually see it, it kicks in later. Like it did for me and my brother and my family. It kicked in later for us that we actually like realized, what a footage means. Obviously Hollywood and films, you've seen like depictions of aliens and stuff, but it's not real. When it's real, you see it at first, but it kicks in later. Later that we're not really alone. And different people have interpreted it differently.
Well, as you can see, he's quite emotional talking about it. Obviously, he's gone through a life-changing experience, and he may even be under threat still now if somebody's planted a bomb in his apartment. And apparently, he's got footage that he wants to release, so we'll continue to hear what he has to say here.
A lot of witnesses who were there claimed that the police deleted the footage from their phone.
Yeah, there were a lot of people there. That's true. They you know, people had their phones taken away and video files deleted, us included. But what made our situation a little bit different is that I do have footage, and I didn't take it on a smartphone. And you know, since we've already given some of the footage to the people we gave our story to, uh, you know, a lot of people don't really know me like that, and I get it. But I'm kind of like a '90s guy. And I like collecting retro things from the '90s. Like for example, I still have a flip phone, you know, like that I carry around on me, um, pretty often. And
Well, that certainly explains the quality of the footage he's taken so far.
yeah, and whenever I go on vacations with my family, I do take a VHS camcorder. Um, and that night, when everyone was getting their phones confiscated and files deleted, nobody noticed that I had a VHS camcorder, like at all. No one even would suspect someone of having a VHS camcorder.
He took that to the mall with him? For what reason exactly?
No, they weren't paying attention. Um, and so, yeah, I have the footage here. Um, yeah, it's a family trip vacation gone
Gone wrong?
pretty weird.
That's the most important tape in human history.
Yeah, I've thought about that a lot, that this could be the most consequential piece of footage in human history. Yeah.
Well, there you have it, guys. Is he telling the truth or one big fat lie? I'll let you decide. But I can promise you one thing. If that tape ever does get released publicly, you can bet your bottom dollar I'll cover the story. Just make sure you subscribe and press the notification bell so you don't miss that video. You can also check out any of my previous installments on the Miami Mall alien incident. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. But either way, thanks for watching, and this is Holy Critic signing out.